Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Not Disney Trivia Live, the show in which we don't play Disney trivia
live.
My name is Doobie Mosley, and the person to my left is. I feel too much like Kyle. Okay, my name is Doobie Mosley, and the person to my left is Rebekah Mosley, and we are the co-founders of Laughing Place. And let us say straight off the bat, for those of you who didn't get the memo, there is no Disney Trivia Live tonight. My normal co-host Gideon is unavailable. He's a busy little boy.
Birthday boy.
Happy 15th. He will never. He might actually know him. He'll probably watch this later in the week. But happy 15th birthday to the wonderful Gideon Mosley. But it's been a long time since Rebekah and I have just kind of talked about what's going on with things. So Rebekah has a great idea.
Why are there so many people here?
let's do an AMA and Ask Me Anything. So we're going to talk about some of the recent stuff we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of adventures lately. Maybe just some Disney stuff in general, but mostly we're hoping you guys have some questions out there, and pretty much anything Disney we're willing to talk about, or maybe even non-Disney, within limits. So let's start with some hellos out there. Hello, Alex. How you doing? Our good buddy Gio, regular with us. Nice to see you. Nathaniel, another regular. I hope you have some questions ready. That'd be awesome. Robert Tucker. Jason, hi. New regular Jason. Love to see you.
Yes. Acknowledging an anniversary, Muppets anniversary.
Yes.
So there you go. Pip the frog here.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Like for what? Buddy R, what's up? Schnebs, Waka Waka. Yep, not Disney trivia. So if you're here just for trivia, we'll be back Tuesday.
Yep.
But if you just want to talk Disney with us, hey, that's great. We would love it.
If you're new to Laughing Place, we talk about all things Disney all the time. Anything happening within the Disney company, we talk about it. We have a lot of parks news around here, keep you updated on what's happening around the globe, whether it's Shanghai, Hong Kong, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, cruise lines, Aulani, all the also as well as the various film outlets, whether it's Pixar, Nat Geo. I just had the opportunity to go to a Nat Geo event for an amazing documentary that's coming in March. It's called Queens. It's focusing on the matriarchal societies within nature. So that's going to be interesting, different perspective on nature. So
I'm going to open the floor right now. If you guys have questions, that's what the comments are for. Ask them right now. But otherwise, we're going to start talking about some of the recent stuff we're doing, like Queens.
Can I just say I had a breakthrough today as far as my Disney knowledge? So for years, I have had this memory that the Matterhorn was in Disneyland, both Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. And while but I couldn't find any evidence of it per se. So I was like, but I know as a kid, it was like I know you have a Fantasyland side and Tomorrowland side. Everybody uses that. But I'm like, I know Disney used to say that too. Okay, so today I was looking through park maps and I finally found why I thought that. And it is that while it seems to have always been listed within Fantasyland, within the you had the land listing and then the attractions. If you look at the park map page that they had, like the whole park, the blue area, the Matterhorn was sitting kind of within the blue area of Tomorrowland rather than the pink area of Fantasyland. So I think that's why I used to think that Disneyland had it listed in different
And I have a memory of reading that Matterhorn was considered to be in Tomorrowland, and then at some point later they moved it to Fantasyland. I absolutely 100% know I read that. Not at the same time, but at one point it was in Tomorrowland, and then they considered it to be in Fantasyland.
And I'm still looking through maps to see if that's true.
Pretty sure I read that in the Nickel Tour. It would have been before my time.
So Schnebs, if you're out there, I know that you are a longtime Disneyland historian and fan, so you can help us out. So yeah, see, Nikki B's with me too. I thought it showed exactly.
Oh, someone out there. All right,
so far that's what I'm leaning into. I'm leaning into the fact that when you would open it up to that double-paged portion that had the full park, that there it looks like it's in the blue Tomorrowland zone, even though it's listed in the Fantasyland zone. The other thing I've learned, that tobacco shop survived a lot longer than I thought. I didn't think it had been on Main Street as long as it was.
I just want to quickly say, hey, why do we care what these two people think?
Oh yeah, no,
you don't. But if you like Laughing Place, I just want to make clear, laughingplace.com, the website, the original portion of Laughing Place, which now encompasses all Omni Media, started on August 1st, 1999 by her and me. So we are the founders of Laughing Place. Laughing Place, one of the longest running Disney fan sites. Certainly not the first, not by a long shot, but one of the early ones. We were the first ones to be officially credentialed by Disney Parks, which was pretty cool. Our first event, I believe, as laughingplace.com, was the opening of the 20th Century Music Shop. I know we covered another event for someone else prior to that, but I think the Music Shop was our first one where we went as us. We also got invited to Disney World. I believe we were the first .com to go to Disney World, but I'm not 100% sure of that one. For the Millennium Celebration, that was a little. And we also perhaps were the first ones to be on a red carpet when we did the Lilo and Stitch red carpet back, I believe that was 2002. So, we've been doing this for a long, long time, and it's funny to see now how the internet, obviously the internet's much different than it was then. It's so embraced. A Twitter account, a TikTok account. Come on, let's come over here. Let's show you what we got.
No, it's amazing.
We were there way back when. So now that you know that little bit about us, first, Fred Ramirez has just a basic question. Let's go ahead with it. What's your favorite Disney movie, Rebekah?
Growing up, I was a big fan. The Rescuers. I loved the Rescuers as a little one. I can remember taking my Pete's Dragon album to show and tell because I loved that movie as well. So those are a couple of favorites over the years. How about you?
My favorite Disney movie of all time is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Trio, if you're out there, I know Jessica said Charlie asked to watch Snow White tonight. So Charlie,
very cool.
Happy to hear it. And Trio, if you're out there, let me know. Participate.
Yeah. And I agree with Jennifer that it was the first tubular steel roller coaster. So that's kind of futuristic.
Yeah, nothing futuristic about the matter. All right. We've got one here.
It's so much fun. We just wrote it the other day.
We did write it. Proper side, B-side, which is, I should say Tomorrowland side. I believe that's B-side, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it's Tomorrowland side. That is the right side to ride. Here's why. What?
Go ahead.
Because there's one point where you go over the bridge and one point where you go under the bridge. And the Tomorrowland side goes under the bridge, and that is where I want to be. Because back in the day, I used to have fun there, but I don't do that anymore. What?
So, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah. But Fantasyland side, you see more representations of the snowman.
I believe you are correct. Yes.
At least because I didn't write it. I didn't write it this time to say that too. Yeah, no, I agree, Kaz. It did definitely have what everybody referred to as Tomorrowland side and Fantasyland side. But so far, I can't find it like in the guidebook that way. As in, if I'm looking through the map as a guest, and I'm looking at what you offer in Fantasyland and I'm looking at what you offer in Tomorrowland, I don't find it represented in both, which is totally if you would have told me that I would open a guidebook from the 80s when I was a little kid going to Disneyland and I wouldn't see it listed as a Tomorrowland attraction, I would be like, that's crazy.
All right, we got some more out here. I'm going to take this one because it's written to me.
Sure.
Uncle Orville says, which Disney restaurant that you've been to have the best vegetarian options? I am a vegetarian. Have been since I was 15 years old. So on my Disney career, best options. It's hard. I'm not going to answer your question because that's me. I'm going to say what has the best option, where I've had the best vegetarian food. I don't know if it has the most options, but where I've had the best vegetarian food at Walt Disney World, and that is hands down high atop the Contemporary Resort, which is a restaurant I keep forgetting the name of, California Grill. Is it still called that?
Yes.
California Grill had the best vegetarian meal I've ever had in my life. Now, their menu changes constantly, so that may have been a one-time thing back 5 years ago or whenever when I had it, but it was spectacular. I love that place. So many places. Every place has options. Many of them are great, but the best veggie meal I've had in my entire life was atop the California Grill.
Paul, found proof.
Okay.
Thank you. This has been a quest. This has been a quest of mine recently. And yes, when I started college, very fun.
All right, Jason, our new guy here. We got to honor Jason.
Favorite attraction and why? Man, okay. So this is one of those where I feel like it changes a lot.
Agreed.
Right?
I have like my classic favorite current, my classic favorite of all time, and the one I think is the best. So.
Okay.
But I'll let you go first, unless you want me to go first. What do you think?
No, no. Go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
My classic favorite of all time is People Mover, Disneyland's People Mover.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which, as much as I love Disney World's People Mover, Disneyland's is so much better.
Elevation, overall pacing.
My favorite attraction currently,
although theirs has tomorrow, the World of Tomorrow,
the Progress Land.
Yeah, Progress
is great, yeah. But currently would be Haunted Mansion. To me, that's just the best.
My least favorite.
And the best attraction I think Disney's ever done. I love it a lot, but it's not my favorite. But I think it is the best they've ever done, in my opinion, the best attraction I've ever experienced from any Disney theme park. You can see Rebekah putting her head down already. It is, just say it for me. Rise of the Resistance in Batuu, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. How about you, hun?
Well, it's not Rise. Let's see. I am so favorite attraction. That is always so hard for me. Favorite attraction. Star Tour, classic Star Tours. I loved. Favorite. That was a favorite of mine. I like the current Star Tours, but I still think the Journey to Endor is way more fun for me than the current ones. I love Big Thunder. Especially Big Thunder at sunset, like twilight, when the rocks really pick up the.
When it basically becomes a whole different attraction.
It kind of does with the way the lighting is.
Yeah, that's where you sit.
Yeah, I love that. We were debating the other day, our team, how many Dumbos there are at Magic Kingdom, and I say 1, but some people say 2,
and that
because there's 2 carousels. And that became a whole thing.
And I see Kyle's out there and he's probably cringing already.
Yeah, so it became a whole thing because I was like, well, so is it different when you ride in one part of the vehicle versus another? All that kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, I am very torn to choose a favorite when it comes to Disney attraction, Jason. I feel like it's whichever one I'm riding in the moment is my favorite Disney attraction, except for Rise and Haunted Mansion. Because I'm not a fan of either of those. Dennis Ritchie asked, what attraction do you miss at Disneyland and Walt Disney World? And is there an attraction you were never able to experience? Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
In my case, I didn't get to experience, and you didn't either, I believe, the Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland.
Accurate.
My visits were after it arrived. It had left. So that is one I wish I could have experienced because that seems so amazing. And you'll handle. Okay. And then as far as what attractions I miss, I still miss America Sings. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the way that it reminded you kind of the breadth of American history through music. I will grant you, maybe Tomorrowland isn't the most appropriate themed land for such a thing. But I did really adore that attraction, and it helped me score very highly on my musical appreciation tests throughout my schooling, and I will forever be grateful to that attraction and the Tiki Room, because thanks to the Tiki Room, I knew of Offenbach, and because I knew of Offenbach, I also did better on my music appreciation tests than my peers. So there you go. Disneyland helping me get better grades in elementary school.
Jason sharing his choices. Classic Tiki Room, great choice. Best good. Rise of the Resistance, great choice. Favorite Pirates, wrong show.
No, I like Pirates. Doobie is not a fan of Pirates. I enjoy Pirates. I think it's beautiful, but Doobie, it doesn't connect with Doobie.
All right, let me answer Dennis Ritchie's question. You were able to experience the early days of the parks. I agree with you. Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland. Disney World. I never did World of Motion. I kind of wish I did get to do Horizons. There's like these classic Disney World, Spaceship Earth, Horizons.
Yeah.
And I never got to do World of Motion, which I'm kind of sad about.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. There are a lot that are gone now that I missed, but that I actually did get to experience.
Like you did Extraterrestrial. I didn't bother.
I did Extraterrestrial. I remember well the Christmas show for Country Bears and Country Bear Playhouse.
Oh, those were good. I think my favorite of them was the Vacation Hoedown. I think that's the one I really enjoyed.
Give a quick answer to Robert Tucker here. Jurassic Park is my favorite, obviously, no question.
Lost World.
But Jurassic Park, Jurassic World I just love that they finally created a theme park.
What about you, Dennis?
If I had to rank them, honestly, Lost World is my least favorite.
Dennis, I know that you will have attractions you miss. Which ones do you miss? I think a lot of people who are here know that for me, as far as Disney Imagineering goes, I think that Typhoon Lagoon is the greatest thing they ever created. So when you ask me where in that whole pantheon of Disney locations, if you could snap your fingers and be in any single place at Disney, I will tell you almost always Typhoon Lagoon, because I just think that the theme, the experience, I love it so very much. So yeah.
I love that we have, LP, we do all things Disney.
Yes, we do.
I definitely want to take a non-park question. So here we have from Nathaniel. First time watching the Marvel on Disney Plus the other day and loved it. What is your favorite Disney Plus show or made for Disney Plus movie?
Ooh, okay.
That is a good question.
I really enjoyed Ahsoka much more than I anticipated liking it. I'm a big fan. So there's that. Forky asks a question. I think is like my favorite thing to come out of Disney Plus so far, though.
I'm still a big fan of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But my favorite movie that Disney Plus has done, obviously Hamilton, not truly made for Disney Plus, but it debuted on Disney Plus. But my favorite Disney Plus movie actually made for Disney Plus would be Noelle, which was their Christmas movie from the very first year. And that is just a fantastic movie. So is Godmothered, but Noelle is top tier. What are you pointing at here? Geo. What? No. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What? No.
And Nathaniel agrees with yours. Yeah. Absolutely. Favorite Star Wars movie, Robert Tucker. Oh. Empire?
I think Empire. Sometimes I think it's Return of the Jedi, but then I go, no, I think it's Empire.
I think mine is so cliche. Attack of the Clones.
I know it is.
I do like Attack of the Clones a lot. Empire is the best, but Attack of the Clones is so good.
It blows my mind.
You know why? You know me. When I think Attack of the Clones, I think the scene where the lady is walking them through where they're making the clones, and it just feels so sterile and pristine. And I just feel so clean just thinking about it.
You would laugh because I am borderline hoarder. So our house is like various levels of clutter here and there. So the fact that my husband adores pristine and sterile, and somehow we're very happily cohabitating together as a couple all these years is amazing.
Oh, I feel a good agreement here.
Right? Well conceived, exquisitely immersive, evokes a feel like a truly themed space should. Exactly. It is my favorite. Nathaniel likes New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. We got a popcorn or churro.
All right, popcorn or churro, Mike C or Tony?
It depends.
I mean,
come on.
That's like choosing between your children.
You can't do that.
It really isn't that hard, frankly.
No.
I don't know. Is either one watching right now? Assuming no, I might give an honest answer, but you never know.
Scroll up a little bit. There's a question. Jennifer has a comment. Jennifer says, I think that if you are a Disney fan of a certain age, you have a fondness for that era of Tomorrowland. And let me describe that era of Tomorrowland. You had rocket jets swirling high atop Tomorrowland. You had people movers steadily moving along the tracks. You had beautiful submarines traveling along the lagoon. You had that carousel periodically spinning where you experience the sounds of American music. Along the Tomorrowland People Mover, you would visit the world of Tron, and that would kind of spill over into the land a little bit, right? You'd have that little bit of that, and then wasn't that still when there would have been kind of that open stage? So sometimes you'd have the various shows going on the large stage, but then you also had this small stage over by the hamburgers and hot dogs and all that, where you'd have kind of more rockin' tunes going on over there. So it had so much energy. And Autopia, it was exactly, Kaz. It was kinetic, but yet it didn't feel claustrophobic. It was amazing.
77, on through whatever Tomorrowland is definitely the era. And the best part, it was so white.
And a Skyway. How could I forget? Skyway buckets as well.
It was all white and pristine.
Monorail. Oh yeah, no.
It's beautiful.
I am a huge fan of kinetic energy in a theme park. And that has been, for me, one of the things that has really been missing within design recently at Disney domestic parks. I'm excited to see what they've done with that Epcot World Celebration area, because I feel like with the lighting effects in the evening, it has more of that feel to it. But yeah, that was one of the things I was anticipating with Galaxy's Edge that wasn't realized in the way that they decided to bring the land to life.
And let's get through a couple here.
Okay.
That shouldn't take too long. Soaring Around the World or California?
California.
California, but not by as much as it used to be.
Really?
World has definitely grown on me. If it had zero obvious special effects, it would help a lot. YouTube channel that you like besides ours? I presume you mean Disney or theme park related. If you just mean in general, I love LA Flights, where they're constantly showing live views of LAX or SFO or other airports.
and we really adore views and cues. Congratulations on the engagement.
Yeah, our communally, if we were to answer this communally in terms of themed entertainment, views and cues, which is a relatively small but not tiny cruise vlog, mostly Royal Caribbean, but they do others as well, including Disney.
Yes.
And
a delightful duo.
They are a delightful duo. We were so happy we got to meet them once and ran into them outside of Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely our favorite. I watch quite a few. I don't really pick particular people I know what
our favorite Disney is, because we watch it as a family when new ones drop.
Oh, of course, including a new one just dropped the other day on American Idol Experience.
Defunctland.
Defunctland is. Yes. If you're not watching Defunctland,
you are missing out.
We're talking about documentary, some of them documentary quality stuff for free on YouTube.
Yes.
Watch Defunctland. How about you, Madam Leota? Who do you like to watch?
Yeah.
I watch
them all. Tell us who you watch.
I watch Molly over at Mammoth. I watch Nate from Paging Mr. Morrow.
Yep.
On and off, I love it.
I've caught Adam LaRue when he's in there.
Justin
when he's over there.
Yeah.
Totally.
Whoever. You know what I've started watching lately? I've started watching lately Travel Day. I'll just type in Travel Day Disney World.
Okay.
And so they're not even at Disney World. It's mostly just waking up in the morning. Oh, we're going to Disney World, and getting the kids together, and then the airplane, going to the airport, and the airplane trip, and then landing in the bus, and we're here. That excitement that they have, I love it.
Oh, here we go. Dennis coming in with his Defunctland Rock. Dennis coming in and letting us know. Nature's Wonderland was a favorite of mine for sure, and I definitely miss Disneyland's People Mover. Over at Walt Disney World, I'd say Mickey Mouse Review, and the original Journey into Imagination. And what I really miss at Christmas time is the beautiful arch light show, when Lights of Winter, that was between Future World and World Showcase. That is beloved. There are a lot of people who talk about that a lot.
You have made my day with that one, Dennis.
Yeah, no, that is one of those things. And Kaz coming in and say, I think she also is looking for some kinetic energy. It's beautiful, but there's just not I was expecting more of that. Provost, that's a good watch too.
So many of these I got introduced by Gideon.
Yeah, our son watches a lot more YouTube than I do.
And we got to meet him at a D23 Expo. Every one of these guys I've ever met are so nice, and they don't know me from Adam. They're just nice people.
I'll be honest and say I don't watch a lot of Disney YouTube because of what I do throughout the day, kind of helping out the team and keeping on top of the Disney news. When I'm tuning into YouTube to unwind, I kind of step out of Disney and into other podcasters, and in my case that means Survivor podcasters.
You want to talk reality TV? Yeah, so ask those questions too.
So my favorite YouTube channels are more in the reality TV talking head zones. Oh, Rob has a podcast.
Rob has a podcast.
No, definitely. Rob
we
has a podcast.
all aspire to be.
And today they kind of, that network got back into the Disney, because there's one of them that's called Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast, and each week they spin a wheel and that decides what their podcast topic is. And this week was wild hogs.
Which I want to hear that one, because wait, old dogs?
No, wild hogs. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm going to do it.
Favorite cruise ship?
From our good friend Kaz. We talk about how Rebekah and I started the website, and obviously that is true.
Yes.
But we had a few good friends that were there with us from day one.
And Kaz was one of them.
This lady was one of them, Kaz.
Yep.
Did your
So
hair for the wedding.
helpful.
I didn't even know if
Yes,
that's
she
good
did.
hair.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, all right. Favorite cruise ship, go.
Longtime friend. My favorite cruise ship? I think I would still go with the Dream. I think the Dream is still my favorite.
My favorite cruise ship has been the Dream. We did the Wish. We've only done it once. And I said when I got off, despite my low expectations, it so far surpassed them that it became my favorite. I really need to do it again to see if that really holds up. But at least as of right now, the Disney Wish is my favorite cruise ship.
I love the Dream has this magnificent chandelier in the center atrium that I adore. I love the Aqueduct. I think I still like it even more than the Aqua Mouse, even though it requires a whole lot more effort to enjoy by comparison. I like the way the dining rooms are with the at those ships rather than the newer ships. They've kind of gone with like, for example, the marble dining and just all of them. Honestly, the spaces between the tables on the newest ship, the Wish, is closer than I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I don't feel like my table kind of has its own little environment. I really feel like I'm kind of dining with a lot more people than I did on the previous ships. I'm interested to see, as Uncle Orville points out, the Treasure is the next ship. I'm interested to see if that is adapted at all or not.
There's for those of us who've done the classic 4 ships.
Yeah.
There's so much they clearly messed up with the Wish that you're like, why in the world did you do this? That I can understand so many people being down on it. So, including myself. But once I just got past those things that they got wrong, and they definitely got them wrong. The fact that I can't walk all the way down around deck 4, they got wrong.
Yeah.
And kind of opened my eyes to what they did differently. What I really love about it is there's just so many places to explore. There are off the beaten path places, which not everyone considers a positive. You want to get around the ship easily.
Yeah.
I consider it a positive. I love the discovery of the ship. And so I love the Wish, and I'm sure we will get to the Treasure. Exactly when? Who knows? But yeah, this one.
Yeah. Sorry, the one above it.
I'm sorry.
And then that one.
Okay.
So Casmus's Adventures Through Inner Space, and I credit this with being why I have not the same kind of depth of passion when things change, because my Disneyland life, shortly after we moved to the Southern California area, so Disneyland was a more regular visit. Not long after we were able to do that more regularly because we lived there, Adventure Through Inner Space was gone. And right around that time, also, America Sings was gone. And those were my go-tos with Disneyland. And so I didn't get super invested in my and the pirate ship went away. And that was where I loved to go have my tuna sandwich. So it was shortly after I kind of had my favorites at Disneyland that they disappeared. And so I think because of that, I never had the opportunity to kind of get super invested in things and think that they would always be part of my Disneyland experience. I kind of had this expectation over the years that Disneyland would never be complete. And by that, they meant things would come and go, which is not, no, but I think there are quite a few people who that wasn't kind of their experience. Yeah, it was just, they would add and add and add. It was like things didn't have as much of a tendency to kind of go, those kinds of anchor moments of your day. Didn't come and go. And then Dennis pointing out, I love to sit at the fountain of Epcot. Man, I miss that fountain, and listen to Buddy Baker's music and sit in the plaza in front of the Chinese theater and listen to Hollywood scores. Let me tell you, Dennis, now you can sit in front of that Chinese theater in a beautiful patio area for the Brown Derby, and you can order like my friend and I, Anita, my gal pal, famously known on Laughing Place as my gal pal Anita. Benji pointed that out. I think that's like her official name. We'll get a margarita flight and just sit there and chat. Oh yeah, no, it's a favorite place to go. We'll get a margarita flight and maybe some sort of appetizer and split, and just sit there and enjoy the music, the beautiful view of the theater. Yeah, no, it's a nice little place. I still miss Starring Rolls, don't get me wrong. Yes. I used to love to go to Starring Rolls, grab a pastry and sit over there in that area and enjoy the same. But
so people saying what they missed, which I love. I miss Wonders of Life. I don't know that.
Do
I
you
normally hear
remember?
people say that I miss Wonders of Life. I remember Cranium Command very well and Food Rocks.
Okay, can I let's play this little.
Even
I'm
Body
just
Wars.
curious. When somebody says to you Wonders of Life, like what's the literal first thing that pops into your head? Because I know
riding a bike with the screen in front of me.
I was okay, me too. When you say Wonders of Life, the first thing that pops into my head is that little you would ride the bike and there'd be the screen and you would see Disneyland. And can I just say, all these years later, they still don't just have that on their YouTube channel as some video we can all watch when we're doing our indoor cycling or something. Can you imagine like a little character in the bottom, like Mickey Mouse in the bottom corner? Okay, it's time for Intensity 4, and then like a few minutes later, somebody else goes Intensity 2. I'm game. Okay.
Evil Queen is channeling Gideon here, missing the Great Movie Ride and the Backlot Tour. That is exactly what Gideon would say. Great Movie Ride was his all-time favorite ride. I think he would still say that.
Yes, for sure.
And Backlot Tour, he never did. That was before his time. But he seemed.
No.
Really?
Yeah, because Catastrophe Canyon.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, no,
you're
totally.
Right. Of course.
Yeah,
For some reason, I was thinking that
it was truncated.
Very much, but yes.
But it was still there.
So he never got to do the Backlot Tour, but he did get to do the Backlot Tour, and he loved it. He still loves Universal Studios Tram Tour.
Yes.
Very, very much in Hollywood.
Our son gravitates towards attractions that have hosted aspects where the cast member has a role and a dialogue, and so therefore your experience changes depending. Currently, he loves canoeing because of this aspect of it, because the canoe team have their own like little scripts, and they have some.
If you haven't done canoes, it's a hilarious attraction to go on.
They do a really great job of bringing their personalities into it. Kyle, most missed People Mover at Disneyland. Never did Rocky Roads. I'm sorry.
This is crazy. He was in line for it. It broke down, and he never got to do it.
Wow,
can you imagine?
Kyle.
That would be so painful.
I didn't know that. And Kaz is mentioning. Can I throw out to you? I tossed this out to the universe the other day on Twitter. I'm curious what you think. So she says she loved the Great Movie Ride, and we know there's that space. And I'm not well versed enough to know if it's really enough space or not, but I kind of wish they would do like a Great Movie Ride-esque ride, but in honor of animation over there where Launch Bay is.
Yeah.
At the
I have no sense of space either.
Yeah.
But you know.
But if there is enough of a footprint over there where they could do, wouldn't that be fun to have a Great Movie Ride, but it's like Disney? Yeah.
Osborne Lights, completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studio.
I miss that.
Disney. So Disney World Christmas is great, but to think they had what they have now, and the Osborne Lights, and the Lights of Winter, and most importantly, the Doves. Yes. The Doves.
Doobie loved that. It was those giant poofy white ball things out by Epcot with the pretty dove in it. Okay, so okay, yeah, yes. Oh yeah, and then yes.
All right, so we have
Great Movie Ride. A lot of people make great movie. Okay,
Warner Weiss to the rescue.
Follow up. We've been sent it, but according to Warner Weiss, the Matterhorn moved from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland in '72. As late as the '70s guide, it was still in Tomorrowland. Okay. I was looking at later guides because my first trip to Disneyland would not have been until I think 79. It may have been at 77, but I think 79 was my first trip to Disneyland. My first trip to Walt Disney World was 73. I have pictures of my little person on the swan boats. Those were still there. Those were still a thing when I first took my trip to Magic Kingdom.
Oh, unpopular opinion. Runaway Railway is cool but inferior to its predecessor. I'm not sure that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, no, that may be more popular than you think.
Yeah, it is cool.
I would say debatable. I would call it debatable.
Yeah. Gideon loves Runaway Railway, but I think he still prefers Great Movie Ride. In Disneyland, it's definitely better than its predecessor, which was just a parking lot for the cast members. But in Disney World, it is more debatable.
Do you remember the animation tour?
So what animation tour are we referring to?
So I'm assuming that walkthrough one that you would do. You would do like the film with Robin Williams, and then you would get to see people at work
I did get to do that once. I have no particular affinity for that, I'm sad to say.
I have an affinity for it because the sequence, we saw them doing the little, they draw and then they flip and then they draw and then they flip. You've seen it. To see that in person when you'd seen it in videos was so cool. And my family, we all paid really close attention to it. We knew they were working on Beauty and the Beast.
That I remember well and love was seeing the animators actually working.
And we paid super close attention to it. And when that scene came on in the theater, we all were punching each other. That's it. That's what we saw. Because it was actually, it was what they were sketching when we were there was the armoire and all the furniture before they start, coming down the stairs. They were standing up at the top of the staircase was what we saw. They were drawing that moment standing at the top of the staircase. So, my father's coming in to correct me that 1977.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. All right.
I wasn't sure if it was Nikki 77 or 79.
Do you remember? I remember very well when there was a Fantasyland Autopia and a Tomorrowland Autopia.
Yes.
Fantasyland boarded not too far from where the Fantasia Gardens is, over by the motorboats, and there was. There was also,
but I can't remember which one would be better either. I can't remember which one I would have chosen.
For some reason, I feel like Fantasyland. I have no reason why.
I can see where you would like that.
I also remember, or I don't remember, but they also at one time had the Junior Autopia. Do you remember that?
And I don't remember
the Midget Autopia. So there's actually been 4 Autopia attractions at Disneyland, or Disneyland. Right, Nick, you're funny. Okay, it's come back to me now. It's come back to me. All right, what do we got here? We have some questions from a little bit earlier. Do you have a favorite MCU movie?
No. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. That is my favorite of the. If you told me I had to go watch another MCU movie again right now, I would watch a Guardians of the Galaxy. And honestly, it's because the score actually played that soundtrack a lot. But overall, MCU is not an aspect of the Disney empire that I pay much attention to.
The original Avengers, that was the peak.
Yeah.
It's been a slow decline ever since, with occasional, but that was the peak, the original Avengers.
Yeah.
What is the best domestic Disney park, and why is the answer Disneyland?
We were just debating this today. We were having this debate at lunch. Yes. Of all things. That's funny.
That would be so cool and creepy. Look through those pictures.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I love that idea, Kaz, that we were there at the same time.
All right. So what is your favorite of the, let's leave out Typhoon Lagoon. We know that's your answer. Of the 6 major theme parks in North America, what would your favorite be?
I'll go. We have
a doorbell. We will get that. So I will answer first. It changes all the time, but it's so different doing it without Rebekah here, even though it's just me talking. Okay. My favorite, not Disneyland. Gideon's at Disneyland easy. Not my favorite. It kind of vacillates between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Epcot would be the easy answer if it wasn't always festival season. Forgive me. I really don't love being at Epcot when it's festival season and there's a lot of people there who are imbibing and enjoying festival season. It's just not my scene. It's not what I go to Disney for, and that really, really brings it down for me. Putting that aside, I think Epcot would be my favorite park these days.
Okay.
Of the 6.
Okay. I can see that.
I also love DCA, to be honest. I really do.
Okay.
How about you?
I've become spoiled with park hopping to where the notion of just kind of picking a park is my favorite. Like I say, I'm one of those people where my favorite park is whichever one I'm in.
There are none that you like, oh, I'm going back there.
No,
all of them are so enjoyable.
Yeah, no, never.
Even
I do feel that about some other theme parks in Central Florida and Southern California, where it's like, oh, do I really? Okay.
Really?
Yeah, but not, nope. Okay. But no, I never am look down at the opportunity to go to Disneyland for sure. A Disney park for sure.
I'm going to rant a tiny bit.
Here we go.
Because Gio mentioned this. I used to love festival season. Flower and Garden, Food and Wine, back when there were just 2, believe it or not. Those were the best times to go, walking around. It's somewhere along the way.
There were 3.
Well, were you including holidays?
Yeah.
Okay. but it didn't. Holidays wasn't full of the food kiosks.
You're right.
That's what became the thing. Even Flower and Garden back in the day wasn't full. It was just food and wine, and the food kiosks would change everything.
Yeah.
And it's. I love Disney adults. I am a Disney adult.
Yes.
Our website caters to Disney adults.
Yes.
We, in a tiny way, help create the concept of a Disney adult in a very tiny way.
Extremely tiny.
It's gone too far. If you want to drink heavily, go someplace else. Disney World is not the place for that. It's just not. Disney World is a family place. It's where people like me go to get away from such things. I don't hate alcohol.
No.
My wife drinks, sensibly. Most people I know drink. I personally don't. But I have no issue with alcohol. I have a major issue with drunkenness, and I have a huge issue with drunkenness at Disney.
Can we go back up to the question with that Jason asked about and where he said it was Disneyland? Because I just want to say something about that. Okay, that's fine then. Jason, you mentioned Disneyland. I know there's a lot of people who put a lot of value in the fact that Walt walked Disneyland, and I get that. I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to devalue that, but when I think of the parks, I like to think of them as Disneyland is built on Walt's dreams, and you have Walt walked there. And when and there's just a tangible sense of that when you're there, and that's part of what makes it special. And I feel like when I'm at Magic Kingdom and I'm at Disney World, that's a brother's love that brought those dreams to life. And so when I'm there, I that's tangible. And so there's a specialness to it that Disneyland doesn't have, but to me, it's no less value. No less special, because both of those are very different aspects, but both
our good friends from the UK, or we don't know them that well anymore, but at one time our really good from the UK, they really instilled in me, helped me understand the value of Roy to the company, which is often forgotten. Their idol, Walt, is Roy, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Just real quick, yes, food and wine, like the kiosk you ate around your heritage, very cool.
Exactly.
The festivals definitely do bring in the crowds, which is good. Crowds are good. This is what keeps Epcot going. I don't belittle them at all for that.
Okay, so you guys have been asking us questions. I'm going to ask all of you one. Do you have a song, a Disney song that you like to throw on to change your mood? Sometimes you're in a slump, and that you're in a slump, and you need to kind of, break out of it. You know that your mood shouldn't be quite as dark as it is. So what Disney song do you put on to kind of change your day? Because I can tell you, I'll share mine eventually, but I want to hear from you. And Gideon's asking us a question.
Well, Nathaniel has a great response to that. Right Where We Belong, Welcome Home. Yeah. I'm finding my people here. We've got the Jason with the stuff, and then this. Yeah. Okay. Gideon has a question. Do you both like cheese? We are not just talking Disney here. So here's a great question. Do you both like cheese? Excellent question. Rebekah.
Not as much as you do. I enjoy cheese a little bit, but not as much as you do.
I love cheese. Cheese is probably my absolute favorite food in the world.
Yes, come say hi.
Absolute favorite food in the world. Love me some cheese. Cheese is why I needed surgery. Here he is. He's back home. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Everyone has said their happy birthday to you, including Kaz right here.
Yep. Happy birthday. Hope it's filled with cheese.
He doesn't like cheese all that much other than pizza.
I like Colby Jack very much.
That's true. Nikki B, not a specific song, but I do go to Sounds at Disneyland, put it on shuffle. Yes.
This one right here will choose various BGM, and sometimes he'll choose obscenely short snippets of BGM, like the ones that you maybe what's the shortest one that you do? Is that one
8 seconds long, right?
No, I don't know what the shortest one is anymore.
Yeah, and he would just have that going while he was doing his math homework or something. I'm like, I
had something from Simpsons, right? That was like 8 seconds long. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, and he would just have it playing on repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason, I'm so glad.
Jason, this,
no,
I'm
in
all seriousness, this is so awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm glad, because I think that's part of why Magic Kingdom is so special.
That was great. We've got some coming in here. All right. Nathaniel loves to put on Disney Resort TV going in the background. Yeah, you can find someone who has that on YouTube.
For sure. Running
all the time. Let's get some others. Uncle Orville. Recently, it's been out there from Hunchback.
Don't start singing, please.
How can I not? It's right there.
Oh, Uncle Orville, you remind me when Doobie and I were first dating.
Right.
When Doobie and I were first dating, it was during the greatest time in Disneyland.
Thank you for the happy birthdays, everybody.
It was during the greatest time in Disneyland entertainment.
1996.
You go look at a park map from 1996 and look at the array of live entertainment that you got simply for the ticket price. You know, for going into Disneyland, not only did you get all their amazing attractions, their fireworks, but a stellar parade and then incredible live entertainment, including a show in the Fantasyland Theater called, was it Pocahontas? Pocahontas in 96 that took you through that amazing music with incredibly talented individuals. And then over in the Frontierland area, they had a theater, like an outdoor theater, and they did a performance in the round of Hunchback, and you were like immersed in the story. It was like you were attending the Festival of Fools, and then around you the story of Hunchback Woody. Oh yes.
Anybody else ever see that show? I'm curious. Anybody?
So fantastic.
Anybody at all ever see that show?
6, 7, 8. Yes.
I love this. As we said, we've known Kat forever, and yep.
Steps. There you go. That's a great one, and that's another thing. We've seen so many amazing performers at Disneyland. Kaz bringing in Animazement. Yeah. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Nope. That's a fantastic choice.
Animazement.
They had this tremendous trio of singers. They blended together out there. A song from Polka. Right?
Kaz, you know, because Pocahontas was on the stage. It must have been Colors of the Wind.
Maybe. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy.
And then Cass, help us out.
Yeah,
what was the trio for animation?
But it was so beautiful, and the way that they wove together, it was amazing.
I saw the Florida version of Hunchback once, which was spectacular.
It was lovely,
and it had the advantage that Hunchback himself, Quasi, was a face character.
Was an actual performer, yeah.
But what they did in Disneyland for Festival of Fools was something truly special that they had never done before or since.
Because just imagine take that Florida version of Hunchback. And instead of you sitting in the theater with the performance in front of you, if it was more like the way they have Lion King in a way where you're like, well, no, even that's the reverse. It's
right. Like we're around it. It's just right
in the middle. because it's like you would be. I missed
all around you.
It was around you.
The Vexillators.
That's it. It was go the distance just around the river bend and out there. Look, Animazement. If you can find this portion on YouTube. Definitely it'll just you'll goosebumps. It's so beautifully done.
You have a very kind aunt, Nathaniel, because it's a really good show.
Yeah,
my first year going to Disneyland as a regular was 1995, which would have been when that show debuted. I remember that show debuting and 40 Years of Adventure and all of that. And, yeah, it was
such a time.
A great time.
Such a time.
Great time. Let's see
man.
What else we got here. Robert really Tucker's was the one he goes to is
Be Prepared. Wow, that'll fire you up. A little dark.
Yeah,
okay,
a little dark.
Yeah.
So
watch out for him. He's going to take over the world.
Out there's a banger.
What's Gideon's go-to whenever the genie, Will Smith as the genie, whenever that song comes on.
When we were getting out the car today at lunch, God Help the Outcast was playing. Yes, and it just reminded me how Hunchback of Notre Dame has just the collection of songs in that movie is just incredible. Incredible.
But to answer the question on my behalf, it is Magic Happens, the current Disneyland parade.
Love that.
I love that song.
We sat on the curb and watched that.
I love that parade, but I love that song.
Sitting on the curb.
Just do yourself a favor, whatever streaming service you use, you can look it up, YouTube Music, all of those. Magic Happens, Disneyland. It should pull it up for you. It is a delightful ditty.
Delightful ditty.
It is.
I really like the slower emotional songs, so I can put on something like a Baby Mine or I'll Try, Candle in the Water. These are the songs that really get me going.
Songs.
So much great music. James from James. I was just saying my 4 favorite Disney songs.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a James. I'll Try. Heaven's Light.
Yes, Heaven's Light. Yep.
Baby Mine.
Yes.
Maybe.
He's a real party.
These are some Candle in the Water, of course. Goodness.
He's a real party.
They get me going.
Doobie, you must be in a really good mood. You're playing all this music that makes me cry.
Let It Go. No one admits to loving Let It Go. I mean, it's obviously one of the greatest songs they've ever done, but it's got so overplayed that people are like.
And as far as Let It Go, there is nothing better within that world of one of my favorite things with being a Disney fan is when you go to Disney on Ice. You go to Disney on Ice, and one of those kind of Disney anthem songs fills the arena, and you have all these little voices joining in.
Oh my! So
and
cute.
when Let It Go was the thing, it was like it blew your mind. You'd be sitting in this arena, and all of a sudden it would just erupt with all these little voices just full belting out Let It Go. It was the best.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dad, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You think if on Disney Hits, if you did a Be Our Guest and you put the Disney Vacation Club song, would they play it?
That'd be awesome. We need to find out.
Is that a good enough one for me to say that lifts my spirits?
A Disney Vacation makes you feel alive.
Kat, my favorite band is Depeche Mode. That's just how I roll, to use the vernacular of the kids these days.
But I love. Okay, so can we tell our I'll Make a Man Out of You story?
Okay, so Kyle mentions at the press event for Force Awakens, a little under the whatever flex right there. Daisy Ridley said she'd get pumped up by listening to "I'll Make a Man Out of You" in her trailer.
One of Doobie and my favorite memories is with that song. It was late at night. It was end of park day, and there's those bathrooms at Disneyland Resort right by the exit, between like the exit, the picnic area, and the trams. And there was this little boy sitting on a bench, and clearly it seemed to be a moment where the adult was in the bathroom and it said, "Sit here, don't move until I get back," dynamic. And he was just sitting there kicking his feet and singing over and over again, "Let's get down to business. Let's get down."
He did one more line.
Did he?
To defeat.
Oh, that's right. To defeat the Huns, and then
pause.
Let's get down to business. It was like the whole time, whoever it was in the bathroom was just singing it full lung, full force, right outside the bathroom.
So we'll just do that randomly now.
It's like one of our favorite Disneyland moments.
I have a confession to make. I have not listened to an entire Depeche Mode album since Ultra. I am stuck. Ultra is where Depeche Mode ends for me. I am sad. I am almost ashamed to say, Cass. So. Okay. They have a latest album? I have no idea.
What's your earliest Disney memory?
That is a good question. My earliest Disneyland memory.
This just says Disney, but you can go with Disneyland.
I'm going to go with Disney. Disney would. I don't know what's earlier, so I'm going to go with Disneyland. I have no idea how old it was. I just know walking out of Disneyland with one of those glow necklaces around my neck. Like they don't even sell anymore. That you put in the freezer when you got home, hoping it would stay.
Oh, a glow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Okay. So I have this memory. Okay, I have a lot of really early Disney memories, but I'm not sure how many of them I actually have, or I've just been told them so many times that I know them. So my earliest Disney memory, I was preschool aged, and I had to have a number of surgeries when I was little. And I would wear my Mickey Mouse Club t-shirt to the hospital when I had them. And one of my earliest memories is my grandfather visiting me in the hospital. And I was having a difficult time in the moment. And I was crying. And he was trying to make me feel better and said, "Oh, come on, those are just crocodile tears." That's the way he would say things to make you feel better. And my response to him was, "No, Grandpa, they're mouseketeers."
Aww.
Yeah. So that's
so cute.
That's like my earliest memory. And like I say, I feel like I personally remember it, but I don't know if I was just told it so many times that I remember it. But yeah.
Make some wonderful memories, Treasure. That's
Please
what it's
do.
all about. That's what
yes. You just have fun. And one of the things that Views and Cues says that we think that your vacation is so much better when you embrace this.
Never been there before. Okay.
Comparison is the thief of all joy. Embrace your vacation. Have fun. It is so easy nowadays with all that goes on to become wrapped up in what you're going to miss out on, because you can't experience it all. And just embrace what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing, and have a ball, because you're going to have a great time. It's so much fun.
My little bit of advice, which is similar but tiny bit different. My family does Disney different.
Totally different than mine.
My mom
100%.
came out to visit us when we were living in Florida.
Yep.
We decided to go to Animal Kingdom with her.
Yep.
I believe we got there somewhere around 1, maybe.
Yep.
I think she was ready to go somewhere around 3:30.
Yep.
Great time. Great time. Now, obviously, you can spend more than 2.5 hours there, but don't worry about doing everything. Worry about enjoying what you do, worrying about being able to look back and say, I had a great day. I know that's hard. It's expensive. And my mom paid. She wasn't like she was free or anything.
Exactly.
It's expensive. There's so much to do, and you want to do it all. At least, in my opinion, the way I was raised, it's far more important to enjoy what you do and have a great time than it is to be able to say, I did it all.
Yep.
So
yeah, have a great time. Oh, if you have any specific questions, feel free to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we've been there quite a lot. We were just at Disneyland a week ago.
Monday.
Yeah. Monday. Just a few days ago. Yeah.
And then I believe Saturday before that or something.
Yeah. Nathaniel saying that he remembers getting his tonsils taken out and getting VHS copy of Hunchback 2 as a get well present. Exactly. Disney's there when we need to feel better.
I have 3 Roosevelt's button-ups, and he said me, right?
Yes.
And 1 Roosevelt's, what do they call them, performance hoodie? And I got to say, I'm loving these performance hoodies. As much as I love the button-ups, I would love a whole collection of performance hoodies. They're just so much fun and comfy to wear. Thank you, Roosevelt's. Got to say, they send these to me and other LPers, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Roosevelt's is very kind to us. We got some more songs. I feel like I need
Okay.
I think they were songs, if I'm remembering right. Yeah. So Nathaniel says the one that gets him emotional is Dreams Come True at the end of the Disney vacation planning tapes.
Oh, yeah.
They really give you the feels. They know what they're doing there.
Sing Sweet Nightingale.
Dennis Ritchie, Sing Sweet Nightingale from Cinderella. Eileen Woods singing 3-part harmony.
Yeah.
Eileen Woods.
So beautiful. She's such a
We've gotten to do
amazing woman.
So many cool things. Can you just talk about Eileen Woods for a moment?
I had the amazing opportunity to have a brief conversation with her a few years ago at the NFFC events that Dennis Ritchie was a very integral part in developing and hosting. He and a group of his friends had the foresight to put together such things so we could all learn more about and get to know the people who had made Disney classics and Disney attractions. And Eileen, she was so gracious. She was amazingly gracious. And like I say, just had a brief conversation with her at the event, ended up writing her an email because it had been such a lovely exchange. And she sent me a picture that she was a painter in her later years. And she sent me a beautiful painting that she had done of herself and Mary Costa, the voice of Aurora, and Adriana Casalati, the voice of Snow White. And just the fact that, first of all, that she just bothered to take the time to write me back was amazing. I think I wrote her a letter. Now that I think about it, I don't think I emailed her. I think I wrote her an actual letter. And and that she took the time to write me back. So cool. That's one of the nice things for us is meeting the creatives. Their heart and soul is in this stuff, and you can really see how, like, when you met Eileen Wood, she was the voice of Cinderella, and when I met her, you could see what had inspired the animators as far as her mannerisms, her characteristics. It really came through in that. I know Margaret Carey, Tinkerbell, the model for Tinkerbell, is still out there doing various fan cons. If you have an opportunity to be around Margaret Carey, she does a lot of East Coast stuff because she lives now in, I want to say, North Carolina. If you have the opportunity, she is a little spitfire, amazing, like, motivational individual, like personification of Tinkerbell. It's what you would want when you meet Tinkerbell. It's like, that pep. So cool.
To a woman, I think without exception, when we've had the opportunity to meet either in front of the camera or behind the scenes Disney, classic Disney person.
Yeah.
I think of Eileen Woods.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Margaret Carey, Harriet Burns, Alice Davis,
amazing
who was
women.
gracious enough to have us in her home one time.
Yeah, no, amazing women.
Even Susan Egan.
Mm-hmm.
Paige O'Hara, Joni Benson, who I haven't met, but I think you've met her.
Yeah.
I mean, these women are just the most beautiful, and I mean, on the inside, women in the world.
It's been a real been a real blessing to meet them and to have that experience only deepen your enjoyment and the work that they've done. It's just deepened it. It's been cool.
Absolutely. Okay, you speak Kaz better than I do. What's she saying here?
Let's see. A kid in Epcot, after Circle Vision, jumped up on the rocks with the arms outstretched and just sang and yelled, "Oh, Canada!"
Okay,
yeah, I can
hilarious.
see that. That's awesome. I love that.
Hilarious.
Gio,
talking about your story when his after you've done, used to sing "Everybody Wants to Be a Tramp" over and
over.
And over.
Cat. Doobie messes up that lyric all the time.
I love this.
Oh, another can I share another favorite
on.
Disney moment? Another favorite Disney moment is a man standing, an older gentleman standing by the Matterhorn, and I believe it was Jack Wagner's voice would be doing the dialogue leading up to the fireworks, and he would talk about Tinkerbell, and he would be like, if you believe hard enough, if you believe long enough and wish hard enough, I think was it? I know hard enough and long enough were in there. And he was just standing there going, I'm believing, I'm wishing, I'm believing, I'm wishing. It's like so good. Oh. Yeah, that kind of thing. Great moments.
Carriage from Cinderella's event tables on my living room. I look at every day and think of you guys. Oh, wow.
That was a fun event to celebrate the 50th.
What's the first thing you think of when you think of the Cinderella event?
That your pants fell because you didn't have suspenders. He had a beautiful tux, and he was walking to the table at this formal fancy event, and next thing I know, his pants are just at his ankles because he wasn't wearing suspenders.
I caught him quickly and got him up. Only a couple of people saw it, but that's the moment.
That was a good moment.
But yeah, Cinderella's 50th, that was
yeah, they had this elegant dinner and ball at the Disneyland Hotel, and a lot of the creatives behind the movie were there. So Eileen Woods was there, who's the voice of Cinderella. They had Bill Justice, an animator, was there. I remember, and I believe one of the stepsisters was there, who voice of the stepsisters was there as well. So, Jennifer's saying that Stage 9. Oh, okay. So in Sacramento, there's a location. It's called Stage 9, and they host various Disney talent so if you're in the Northern California area, Jennifer says they're going to be having the voices of Bambi and Thumper and Flower coming. So those are people, and as she says, that's the challenge right now, is a lot of these talents, they're older, and so we continue to say more. We continue to say farewell to many of them over time. By the way, if you are in Southern California, look up Disneyana Fan Club. They host events in Southern California. If you're in the central part of the U.S., I'm involved with an organization called Dayton Disneyana. We host an event in June where people can come, and we do pin trading and have vendor sales. And we also have Disney speakers come and talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff within Disney. So that goes on there. I know there are many others. Those are the ones that I'm personally familiar with. So I share those.
I want to answer Jason's question. Okay, I love that question. But first,
yes,
we got a question via text. If you know my phone number, want to text in your question, that's fine. This one comes from a Mark Kaplan. Tell them about Tokyo Disneyland. So
my parents sent me to Japan when I was graduating from high school, and among the things I got to do was I went to Tokyo Disneyland. I think that would have been 1989. I'm sure if I'm wrong, my dad will let me know, because he knows my history better than I do sometimes. But yeah, it was okay. So I had the opportunity growing up in Southern California. My dad taught English to girls from Japan. What would happen is a university in Japan would send over several hundred Japanese girls to learn English and to visit the sites of America. The thought being you get fully immersed within America and learn English in kind of an intensive language program. So they'd have English classes in the morning, And then we would go and tour varying sites around Southern California. And I would spend a lot of time with these girls. And since I was a young child, it wasn't as intimidating to them to speak to me as it would be to an adult, because, you know, you become very self-conscious about your, you know, your challenges in speaking the second language. And so most of my trips to Disneyland over my childhood were with these girls, were with girls who were coming from Japan. And so it was very fun when I was graduating from high school. My parents sent me to Japan, and a lot of these girls, having known me, joined. So it was me and my entourage. I had like 12 people.
Who's that celebrity?
Well, and this was when you didn't have as many Americans visiting Disneyland either. So no, I was among the very few, honestly, Caucasian individuals I saw that day. I was among, I think I saw one other person who had lighter hair like I did. My hair was even lighter back then. So I stood out visually at the park, and like I say, I had this entourage of friends in the end, and it was just the park was so beautiful, and I loved how it reflected, like, for me, like the best elements I loved of Magic Kingdom, but yet also had familiar aspects from Disneyland. Their electrical parade had this beautiful swan in it that we didn't have over here, and so I was like, you know, mesmerized by that. The Star Tours opened up into this enormous, like, multi-level chamber when you came in, because it was like, truly felt like a air terminal. So because it had the height.
I know you visited Disney World when you were very, very young. Would this be your first memory of visiting a non-Disneyland park, Disney park? Or did you go to Disney World?
I went to Disney. I think I have memories of Disney World. That's, again, one of those things where I'm not sure if I do, but I think I do.
Because that first time,
because my parents say that when I went to Disneyland, the first thing I asked them was, why didn't we take a boat from our car?
Because that first time going to a Disney, you go to Disneyland a million times, and then you go to a different Disneyland. Just that. A lot of cool stuff.
So I grew up in Southern California. I became an annual pass holder in the 80s. And I probably spent 20 to 30 hours in the park as a guest from 1998 until we moved to Florida at Disneyland. Like a week. Yeah. 25 to 30 hours a week at Disneyland Resort. In the park, adjacent to the park, like at the hotel or something.
And we met at Disneyland, if y'all didn't know that. We met at Disneyland as guests there back in 1996.
So Disneyland I knew like the back of my hand. We competed in a trivia contest one time. It was one of those where you're supposed to run around the park and look at stuff, but we were so often that we were able to answer a lot of the questions just sitting at a table, because that's how familiar we were. It finally happened. This past visit to Disneyland, I was asked for information, and I answered based upon Walt Disney World and not Disneyland.
I missed this.
And it hurt It hurt very, very deeply. I forgot that Disneyland's Main Street train station does not have a ramp.
That's right. We're like, where's Rebekah?
Yeah, no, I went to help a guest I saw was beginning to fold up their wheelchair and start to struggle up the stairs. And I was like, oh no, I don't want them to do that. So I rushed down to go help. And then I realized, oh wait, there isn't a ramp here. I have become a Walt Disney World regular.
Right. So we're coming up a little over an hour here.
Oh man, you guys stuck around. I appreciate it.
Can we do? You okay with just doing one more?
No, I'm fine. Yeah.
Well, we came in here with some stuff prepared to talk about, which we never got to talk about. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, 100%. But I was hoping this would just become an AMA. You guys. Thank you so much for all your questions. We'll do this again. This is tons of fun. But
we can have a focus. If there's a specific topic, drop us a line. Editor at Laughing Place, say, hey, I would love for you guys to address blank. And then we can toss it out there. We can promote it a little bit so people can be thinking of questions or whatever. Because we love to chat Disney, and we love the kind of the interchange of we say stuff and you join in, and it's so much fun to learn more about you all as well.
So appropriate for this couple here.
Yeah.
Jason says, Disney World holds a special place for us because our honeymoon was our first trip there together. We honeymooned there, of course.
We did.
What is your perfect Disney date night?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, in my opinion, we just had it a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
We went to Disneyland After Dark Sweethearts Night, going back to the place where we met 26 plus years later. And it's an after-hours event. You pay extra, and there's a lot of entertainment that's special, a lot of food that's special, which we enjoyed. I mean, just the mood in general, couples everywhere. The castle's got pink hearts projected on it. It was a perfect date night. I may have an answer aside from that, just kind of a general, be able to go anytime, but that was a great Disney date night.
Can you find the picture that we took that is applicable today? You can probably hit that and find it while I chat. But I think for me, one of the things I very much enjoy is like having dinner. Us on Main Street. Having dinner such that you're getting back to the park in those last couple of hours of the park, because it gets so much quieter then, and you can really bounce around attractions. And so just popping around to various attractions during that time period, so you can hit like a lot in a short period of time, and then the park is cleared out and you're walking out of the park and you're tired but exhilarated. You've had this wonderful day, lots of fun. Yeah, that's it. And everything. What do you need? Oh, okay, here, I'll help you.
I got it.
Okay, no worries. It's up there.
Yeah.
And then so that's what I like, is when we used to have time, is when we were locals and we would do that more frequently, that we would see the park like in those last few hours and walk out in the quiet, and just you can hear the music more, you can enjoy the environment more and all that kind of stuff. So
probably don't need that part on there.
Yeah, no. There you go.
Yeah, so this is where essentially we met. This is Coke Corner.
Because we met at Coke Corner.
And so this is the entrance to Coke Corner.
I don't know if Kaz knows this yet. So.
And if you zoom in here, you see that
number on the address? Look right there.
What's today's date?
2/17.
We learned relatively recently that is the address of the place where we met, Coke Corner, and that is the birthday of our son. So we made sure to get a picture there.
And yes, I do, Uncle Orville. I still struggle with oh no, I didn't get to ride this, even though I've been a million times and I know I'm going back. I am not burnt out.
We got seen
on it, and I'm happy to be there.
I greatly miss going to Disney World anytime we want to, going to the parks anytime we want to.
Yeah,
it is great. Our favorite place to go there, our date night, was every Friday night. We'd go to Beaches and Cream. I would love to get back in that habit when we're able to move back there.
Yeah.
That's the spot. And our favorite go-to for if it's like a special event, we would usually go to Jico over at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Jico was nice at Animal Lodge. Mm-hmm. Animal Kingdom Lodge, sorry. Oh, Gio saw us in Molly's video.
Yeah, we saw Molly there briefly.
Oh, yeah, we saw Naveen and Tiana at Sweethearts Night.
Yes, we did.
Oh, Jason has a special number of 322. That's cool. Oh,
that's cool.
I'm interested to learn more about that. Oh, dude, Jimmy's gonna share more pictures.
Just one.
Okay, here you go.
He mentioned seeing Tiana and Naveen Sweethearts Night, and they were like the only characters that we saw that didn't have a line. Oh, gotta mention, Hoodie is from Roosevelt's, and your sweater
is from Box Lunch.
Box Lunch, which I love. She got so many compliments on this sweater.
I did.
I mean, it's sold out now.
I don't think it's that flattering, but everybody was commenting.
I love this sweater so much. It's so cute. Anyway, wow, this was so much fun.
Andrea, you'll have to on Tuesday. I'll be patient and wait on Tuesday. Disney, if you're there, or next time at Trivia Live. Let us know. I'm interested to know if you want to share publicly. If you don't, feel free to just share privately or keep it to yourself. I love that you have a special number. I do. I love that. That's awesome.
Happy birthday to my son Gideon.
Yes.
This was so much fun.
And that's the only reason why we're here and not Disney Trivia Live.
Yes,
because he was off having fun with his friends.
So it was this or nothing. We didn't replace DTL, and maybe next time DTL is off the market, we will do this again.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, and we'll be around. Gio wants to know: are you going to bring back the morning show? Because Man, I miss it too, Gio, but I think right now Doobie's real life work schedule's in the way.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to do it, and it is on me. This has nothing to do with Kyle. This is all on me or anyone else. I am just incredibly busy with work for the past couple months, and I do it. We do the show at 9 o'clock. I'm at work. I have to take time away from my normal work day to do it, and I just don't have the time right now.
Yeah, so we're hoping. We thought that crunch would be done by now, but that crunch has extended. So hopefully that it'll be back soon, because I miss it too. It was a fun way to start my day. I know it was a little later for you over there in the Midwest, Gio.
Thank you so much, Donna. He is the sweetest kiddo. Thank you for the compliments.
Oh, that's very thoughtful.
Rebekah is a fantastic mother.
Good daddy.
I think I'm a good daddy.
Yep.
And the result is a great kid. So happy birthday to Gideon.
And we have lots of great friends who are also very, very integral in all of it as well. So.
All right. We will be back on Tuesday. Well, I will be back on Tuesday with Gideon for an actual Disney Trivia Live.
And I think I'm back Wednesday for Barely Necessities this week. I think we had to shift.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So we'll be back Tuesday also for Disney Parks Talk Live.
Oh, is that on Tuesday? Okay. So you'll see Disney Parks Talk then. And we just came back from the parks. We got a lot to talk about. We're excited.
That. So we thought we might talk about today, but now tune in Tuesday for it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. See you all. Have a wonderful Sunday.
And Monday. Happy holiday.
Oh, yeah.